What? Is there something on my face? It's a new cosplay. It's all the rage. It's a redneck Storm Shadow. I'm gonna do the whole stream like this. You're gonna see like no, like barely any facial expression. Just this, because this is modern communication. What am I wearing? A hat. Is it really that strange? Fuck it. Being good is overrated. I'll just be evil. I mean, then I'd probably get hired at Google. So yeah. Why is the guy from Watch Dogs here? So let me tell you what I was actually going to do. What I was actually going to do was I was going to start this podcast, this show off, mocking the comic book hut, and I even tried to make a mask, and it didn't turn out too well. This is like part of it. I cut off too much fucking fabric, and it stretched all to hell. So yeah, I gotta try that again. Oh, goodness. Alright, so since Ultimate Agent is complaining, I'm going to keep the mask on for a little bit longer. So today, since the hut didn't do anything, I just felt like it. I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to do a, just a joke to open up a stream for ages now. And I just hadn't had the opportunity, right? Well, fuck it. You know, it's like, why not make fun of the comic book hut? That's an easy target. So, anyway. I'm like, well, shit, I got the stuff to do a thing here, right? Apparently, it's going to take about longer than 15 minutes to put together a decent mask. So, yeah. So anyway, I have good news. The news is Three Nights, 4 Days is at 190 backers. The next goal is rather obvious, is 200 well, the next goal is actually $12,000. And then the next goal after that is 13,000, and I think we've beaten Inglewood at that point. Let me double check. Is it 13,000 or 14,000 where we've beaten Inglewood? It might be 14. Now that I think about it. Yes, 14,000. So. But yes, goal accomplished. We move on to the next one. Because that's how you do things. You set a goal. Bada boom. Move on to the next one. So on and so forth. I'm Your Pepper said he got his book with the art book. Wise investment. Because keep in mind, guys, those art books are this campaign only. We're not printing them again. So, still waiting on Inglewood. Timbertone, I could check the status for you real quick if you want, but I don't know if you want to give me your backer number in a public live stream. So, but needless to say, I think that I want to see we're at half fulfillment. For Inglewood, I'll check real quick. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, enough of this. Meh. So, where are we at with the thingamabob? Yeah, that's fine, Timbertone. One thing I will say, yeah, let me have a look and see. If you tell me what tier you had, though, I could probably give you an idea of when it'll get sent out or what you ordered. Because yeah, we're at just a shy under half fulfillment. We fulfill 47 more and we're at half. No, wait, that's not right. If we fulfill 23 more, we're at half. So, but we sent out a ton of them today. Wendy got hers. Yes, awesome. I thought I could have swore that I'd seen yours got out there. So you'll have to let me know how you if you enjoyed it, Wendy. Though I think you said something about it on Twitter. I don't remember. Daniel Parker got the Windy City Special. So for anybody who got the Windy City Special, your digital should have already been sent to you. The physical book, we just got the director's cuts in. So those will be going out a little later. Probably sometime this coming week, if not tomorrow. So, I don't know. I think we started sending those out this week, but I don't remember. The posters and the what do you call them? T-shirts are the last things going out. But then again, they're not super expensive to ship. Now I look like Fred Durst's much more successful brother. I was gonna say I thought I looked like Gat Hanzo. But though he kind of looks like Fred Durst's more successful brother too. I love Gat to death, man, but he's a funny dude. All right, you got the cross counter tier, and it had the shirt. Yeah, so your book will go out first, and then your shirt will come later. So. Wendy, I think you will very much enjoy it. That is for certain. But anyway, let's discuss. Well, thank you, Torino. Torino got the $50 tier. So that art book is going to be badass. So, one thing that we're going to do a little bit later on is I'm gonna do an announcement, but right now we're gonna talk about a topic. So for those who don't know, I am a big fan of Alien and Predator. I own every single Alien and Predator film except for the most recent The Predator and the most recent Alien film. I even own Prometheus. And I actually like Prometheus, even with all of its flaws. But the downside is that Predator and Alien obviously are no longer owned by Fox. They are owned by Disney. And anything that is Alien and Predator, or just R-rated in general, that they got from that acquisition is still done under what's now just called 20th Century Studios. So, for example, the game Predator Hunting Grounds is under 20th Century Studios, but it is technically a Disney video game. So, so what we have is something that I thought was kind of inevitable, but I want to talk about it anyway. Why am I yawning? I shouldn't be yawning. This is bullshit. I might have to get a nap in. So, Marvel Comics is going to be publishing Alien and Predator comics in the near future, apparently. Yeah. So, that's a thing. Now, on one hand, the Alien Queen is now a Disney princess. So that's a thing. But it's a little worrying. So let's go through this. This comes to us from IGN. The Alien and Predator franchises have been a mainstay in the comic book industry for decades, and now they've found a new home. IGN can exclusively reveal that Marvel Comics has acquired the rights to both Alien and Predator, paving the way for a new line of comics set in this cinematic sci-fi universe. I think that the only thing that they actually did acquire maybe was just publishing rights from Dark Horse, which it wouldn't surprise me if that was actually part of the original deal ages ago, and they're just now talking about it. But anyway. While Marvel isn't ready to reveal specific titles or creative teams yet, we can debut a pair of incredible teaser images drawn by Batman artist David Finch. Yes, Batman artist David Finch. As if he didn't do a bunch of fucking work for Marvel 10 years ago. Whatever. God, anyway. First up, here's Finch's take on Alien's big chap xenomorph. Also known as the xenomorph from the first fucking movie. Now, this is David Finch we're talking about, so the art is gorgeous. Though I don't think that the outline here from the colorist was necessary. I don't know why they did that. It actually looks a little jank. I'm not a fan. But then again, that just means the colorist who did this is not as good as Oliver Lee Arce, who is the colorist on 3 Nights, 4 Days, which you should back right now. Anyway. And then he also did The Predator, which doesn't look half bad, except for the plasma caster looks a little weird, and the things on the dreadlocks look a little blocky. It looks like they probably asked him to pencil this on short notice, and color this on short notice, because, like, I don't know. It looks a little rushed. The ink job's not bad. But, a little bit overboard on the face mask. So, anyway. Let's see what the article continues to say. To be clear, the Predator teaser isn't meant to suggest the two franchises will be integrated into the Marvel Universe. Marvel's new comics will instead expand on the characters and settings of the various Alien and Predator movies. Still, it's always possible fans will see some sort of Alien vs. Predator vs. Avengers crossovers down the road. Unsurprisingly, Finch had a blast rendering these two teaser images, telling IGN, Alien and Predator are two of the most identifiable, iconic characters of all time, and I love them for that. But mostly it's been being fortunate enough to be a kid when they were new. I've seen every movie they've ever been in, and I cannot wait to see them wreaking havoc in the Marvel Universe. I drew my pictures of them with a massive smile on my face. That sounds like a pre-canned statement that his agent said, not him. Dark Horse Comics has been publishing Alien and Predator stories since 88 and 89 respectively, but it appears 2020 will mark the end of that arrangement. The move isn't necessarily surprising, given that both properties, like Marvel itself, now fall under the Disney umbrella. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. This is a thing. So, like I said, this art doesn't look too bad. But, let's just bring these images up in a new tab, shall we? This alien piece isn't bad at all. The colors have like that outline is a bad decision, but the rest of it looks good. This is a very good job too, these fog effects. Um, where they really got it right, though, was the detail here. I would love to see Finch illustrate an entire Alien book. I think that he does have a great style for this creature. His level of detail is perfect for it. Here's the thing. There are, like, no writers at Marvel right now that I honestly think could carry this franchise and do it justice. There's nobody at Marvel that would be able to pull it off. Well, I'm gonna Crystal Hydra. I'm gonna praise David Finch because he's a great artist. I'm gonna talk about the drawbacks. Just simmer down, dude. Relax. The old stuff didn't go anywhere. But anyway, there's not a writer at Marvel that I think would be able to do anything with it. For two reasons. One, Marvel has made the mistake of largely hiring fucking YA writers and stuff like that to write all of their comics, or political people like the chick who did who does Ironheart, and Ta-Nehisi Coates. Eve Ewing is her name. You know, it's all fucking that nonsense, you know? The rumor that I've heard is that now Ta-Nehisi Coates has a decent amount of pull at Marvel, which is fucking frightening. And then, of course, there's Sana Amanat. But there's just not anybody at Marvel that has the ability to do this. You would need a horror writer. You would need someone like me. But they don't have me. They probably couldn't afford me. Probably couldn't afford me at all, now that I think about it. So, it has its ups and downs. Because there's some talented artists that still work for Marvel. Ed McGuinness is there. Who else is still there? Deodato Jr. is still there. And there's other guys they could get. JR Jr. they could probably get, though I don't think his style would suit Alien or Predator that well. And there's other guys they could get too. You know, Lainey Francis Yu would be a great artist for an Alien or Predator book, especially Alien. I'd love to see a Lainey Yu illustrated, Alien book. What about the people behind Immortal Hulk? Well, the artist on Immortal Hulk is solid. He'd do a good job. The writer, he can go suck like 37 dicks and yes in a row, because he continuously sabotages his own work by ramming in transgender politics. The straight white male Al Ewing feels the need to constantly ram in transgender politics into the fucking Hulk. It's fucking stupid. He sabotages himself all the time. And makes himself inconsistent. What's his face, who's writing the Avengers, does the exact same thing. Jason Aaron does the exact same thing. He just throws politics into an otherwise good story and fucks himself. It sucks. And I honestly don't want to see any, like, Aliens versus crossovers with a Marvel property, really. Because it's not going to have any consequence. You know? Because here's the thing. Let me take you back in time. You guys ready for a history lesson? I've mentioned this before when I did my Wildcats episode. But we're going to bring up a book that I would say is probably my favorite alien crossover. And there's been some really good ones. Superman versus Aliens was surprisingly good. I didn't care for Batman versus Aliens. I actually didn't care for Batman versus Predator either. Oh, Chaos Sonic gave me money. Give me 1 second to read that, bud. Logging in. Do. Okay. He says, sorry, took a shower to de-stress. What did I miss? Well, we're talking about Marvel acquiring Alien and Predator. So, real quick, for those who don't know, I actually read a lot of stuff from Avatar Press. This is, this book is actually one that I would actually recommend, Stitched by Garth Ennis. Really good miniseries. Anyway, so one that I would recommend for anybody, for like, this is my favorite Aliens crossover, is Wildcats versus Aliens. And part of the reason for it, like I said, I'm not the biggest Wildcats fan. I really enjoy Alan Moore's run on the book, and it's my perfect example of why writers are just as necessary as a good artist in comic books. This is co-written by Warren Ellis. It's not completely written by him. The art's not bad. It's not great either. But actually no, this looks pretty good. But this is actually, yeah, this is Ellis, Sprouse, and Nolan. But anyway, let me kind of skip forward a little bit here. So basically, what happens in this book is, like, the majority of Stormwatch. Yeah, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I don't want to spoil anything. But the majority of Stormwatch is affected by the aliens, and there are permanent deaths that impacted the Wildstorm universe all the way up until the point that it was folded into DC. And I miss that sort of thing. I miss when crossovers had consequence. Like the Inglewood Peregrine crossover, self-promotion, when that comes about, that one has permanent effects on both of the universes. So, it is a, it is worthwhile, you know. Chaos Sonic donates another $1, says, didn't Marvel already have their own aliens? Wasn't it called the Brood? Exactly. They already have the Brood, you know? So I think crossing, and to be honest with you, the Brood are a much more advanced race. So they're a little bit more interesting in some respects. But anyway. The thing about it is that if Marvel does a crossover with Alien or Predator, there's going to be no consequence to it. And that's one thing that I'm not a fan of. You know? I think that if you're going to do something like that, there needs to be consequence. There needs to be a sense of permanence. And there's not a lot of that happens. You know? It's kind of stupid, in my opinion. You know? So, this really isn't what I would call that good of an announcement. I think if this was 10 years ago, I might have a different opinion. But, I don't know. Though I will say this. If Jonathan Hickman writes an Alien book for them, that would be a smart idea. or if they're able to pull Christopher Priest away from Vampirella for a little bit to write an Alien book. Those guys would do really well. I mean, fuck. An Aliens book with Christopher Priest and then see if Finch will do the art. Or if Deodato Jr. would do the art. Like, fuck. That would be great. But they're not going to do that. You know, they're going to put some chump on it. They're going to put Mark Waid on it. You know? So I fully admit that's going to it's going to end up just falling apart. You know, you can't put a feminist writer on Alien because the character, like, you can't put a feminist writer on this because his head looks like a dildo. So feminist writers are clearly going to think that this is oppressive. I mean, this thing is walking penetration. Feminists are going to hate it. By the way, Mark Waid is a prick. Chaos Sonic continues to throw money at me, not that I'm going to stop him. He says, in other news, Transformers is having a crossover with Back to the Future, and just like with Ghostbusters Transformers, the DeLorean becomes a Transformer. What absolute mad lad is writing that? That is hilariously awesome. Goodness. Speaking of permanents, you want to know what they should do? They should have America Chavez versus aliens, and she dies at the end. Also, this is another downside, is now if in Mortal Kombat games they can never have Alien and Predator again, because as of right now, Warner Brothers owns NetherRealm Studios. So let's have the Xenomorphs solve SJW Marvel. Dude, I'm all over it. I want to see the Predator like decapitate Kate Bishop. You know, Aliens versus Predators versus the New Warriors, and it's actually the New Warriors die in the first 10 pages, and then the rest of it is just Aliens versus Predators. That's what I'd do. The internet gas isn't going to save you from this shit. Another thing that's interesting while I look at this Predator art again is, if you think about it, the Alien and Predator omnibuses are about to go up in price, are about to go up in value. Because I don't think that they're going to reprint those. I don't think Marvel will. Like, some things, whenever places, you know, when a franchise trades hands, things don't get reprinted. Like that Alan Moore Wildcats book I have, it's never been reprinted. That's why it was so hard to find. And I'm lucky I got it for as low as I did. I got it for $25. It usually retails for $100. So I could resell it at that price, you know. It's sort of like with whatchamacallit, with my Cyberfrog books. Like, I could probably resell those at a good value because Ethan signed mine. I'm not going to. I'm actually very happy that he signed mine. But, He even signed my my ash cans when I ordered them, which is very nice of him. He didn't have to do that. Because Inglewood's not even signed, you know. Mostly because I'm not out in North Carolina. If I was in North Carolina, I would sign them. But, Montanui, I have Mortal Kombat XL, so I'm good. Yes. Wise decision. That's my favorite Mortal Kombat game. Aside from 2, that one's my favorite. Like, XL is so fucking good. But anyway. So what does the chat think? So hail the chat. Pat says the Predator can skin Carl Manverse. Hail to that. Oh wait, Chaos Sonic threw more money at me. Shouldn't it be Aloha Snack Bar and America Chavez versus the Xenomorphs? Well, them too, yes. Kill them all. Let God sort it out. Or in this case, Stanley and Jack Kirby up in heaven. Let's see here. Not the last one says, wait till they hear about what the face hugger represents. Oh, ain't that the truth? Crystal Hydra says, Micah, why is this evil happening? Did we anger God as his punishment? I'm Your Pepper wants to know, can we get 3 nights, 4 days signed? So, let's talk about that. Let me refresh real quick, just in case we get any new backers. I want to see if we did. But we're at 107% funding. We got a new backer! We are now $145 away from 12 grand, guys. So whoever just backed it, thank you. So let's go over the stretch goals, because that's actually a part of that. So at 20,000, Vinny Tardamella, actually let's go 50K down. At 50K, Preston and I, and also Oliver, we're going to go out to North Carolina during fulfillment, and then we're going to go ahead and sign everything for you guys. So, 40K, trading cards, plus I'm giving all of my team a pay bonus. 35K, we're throwing in some stickers. 30K, you guys are going to get some free buttons. 20K, you get that art, or the alternate cover by Vinny Tardamella gets unlocked that you guys can buy as well. So. Oh, fuck. That felt better. Oh, thank you. Goodness. So if you want a quality comic book, 3 nights, 4 days. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. Anyway. What else do the chat say? Torino de Guzman says Venom versus Aliens versus Predator. That'd be interesting. The problem is that the Venom, like, there's nothing that any of them have that can really harm him. Maybe the acid. But the Predator, like, doesn't have any weapons that can really do anything to him. I would rather have Wolverine versus Aliens versus Predator. But again, there's nobody that could really write that well. Ray Castro says, are they going to reveal that the Predators are mono-gendered or something like that? I don't know. The funny thing about it is, like, the Predator culture has been, like, retconned so many times. Like, there was one point where it worked like reverse lions, where it was the females who ran the household and the men went out to hunt. But the problem is that Predators don't hunt for food, necessarily. They hunt for sport. They hunt for trophies as part of their culture. So that didn't make any sense. But, like, I remember, like, in the early AVP stuff, there was a caste system. There's a lot of crazy stuff. But the funny thing about it is, like, there's been some good, you know, heroines in, Alien versus Predator that, have been pretty badass. Let me pull up a couple of them real quick. let's see here. What is her name? Ah. So the first to consider is Machiko. She actually was partially the inspiration for the protagonist of the first Alien vs. Predator film. But instead of a Japanese woman, it was a black woman. She basically, she kills an alien, befriends a predator, and gets, of course, the mark on her. And by the way, that's where this comes from, is from the AVP comics, which apparently Paul Anderson was a big fan of. And she lived with the predators for a while, up until the point she got sick of it, you know? And then the other one is Lin Kurosawa. Lin Kurosawa. She is a Capcom creation from the Alien vs. Predator arcade game, which is very rare to find. I think that they just recently got the rights to put it in like a beat-em-up pack or something like that. There was like this like arcade stick thing that Capcom released that they finally got the rights. They got the rights to do, like, put the AVP beat 'em up on there. So there's been some pretty badass women, like Alien and Predator. Like, then of course you've got fucking Ripley, you know. Punisher versus Predator. That would be, that would be interesting if it's written by Garth Ennis. You know, anybody else, no thank you. God, a Garth Ennis Predator versus Punisher book would be badass. But we're never going to see it. You know? It's unfortunate. Eclectic, yeah, Lynn does make an appearance somewhere else. Lynn is actually in Street Fighter Alpha. Let me show you. So, need to zoom in a little bit for it. So, this is Ken's stage from Street Fighter Alpha 2. So, from left to right, all of the characters I can recognize. This is Lord Raptor. Morgan, obviously, because her tits are falling out. This is Eliza, Ken's wife. And then you've got Ginzu the Ninja and Captain Commando. You have Strider Hiryu. And here's Lin Kurosawa right here. Then there's Felicia, and then Pure and Fur is in the back. So, can't tell that I played Alpha 2 a lot. Oh no. It's my second favorite Street Fighter, next to Third Strike. And admittedly, I'm a lot better at Third Strike than I am at Alpha 2. And I was pretty good at Alpha 2 as well. But this is probably one of my favorite Capcom stages. This one, Wolverine's from Marvel, Marvel Superheroes, and what is that one stage? God, I always forget it. I'm picturing it right now. Oh, it's the Temple stage from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the one you fight Abyss in. Oh, that's Shenko and Mei Ling? I did not know that. Chaos Sonic throws in another book. Says Ultraman comics bought by Marvel. Also, Though with Japan keeping an eye on the SJW crap, we'll have to wait and see. Thoughts on Transformers versus Terminator? I have not read it yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But for those who don't know, I'm a big Capcom fan. So I really do miss old Capcom fighting games, though, man. Like, Street Fighter 4 didn't even scratch the itch for me. Though Sagat was fun to play as. I love Sagat. Sagat's, like... I was actually mentioning this on my Discord server today. Like, Sagat is the reason I started learning Muay Thai. That character is so fucking cool. So... yeah, Recaster, I miss the Darkstalkers too, buddy. The Darkstalkers were, like, that was one of my favorite Capcom games. Vampire Savior 2 is a ton of fun. Though we will probably never see another Darkstalkers. Because when they did Darkstalkers Revival, it underperformed. Which is really sad, because those games are great. They did the Killer Instinct life system before Killer Instinct did. So... oh, goodness. But what I'm really hoping for at some point is that they do something like put AVP Arcade on the Switch or on Steam or both or all of the consoles. Like I would love to have it on the Switch just because I could, like, take a dump and play it, you know. So yeah, just to sum all that up, I'm not the biggest fan of the of this announcement just because of where Marvel's at right now. If they were at a different place, man, I'd be a lot more excited about it. But not to mention, like, Alien and Predators just haven't been done well. Like, fucking The Predator is legitimately one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad. And then, the most recent Alien film was just underwhelming. It wasn't... I don't see it's a bad movie, but then again, I haven't watched it since I first saw it in theaters. But it just... it didn't hit the right mark for me. So... that kind of sucked. Micah has his priority straight. Yeah, something like that. I do still love some of the stuff that Capcom does, though. Resident Evil's been fun. You know, I wouldn't expect to see Dino Crisis come back. Though I really do think that they should at least remaster the first one and throw it out on consoles and see how it does. You know, just throw it on an emulator and just release it and see how it goes. Well, I can see this, Raycaster, as a fan of Darkstalkers. I appreciate that. And the interesting thing is, like, some elements of Killer Instinct felt like Darkstalkers. And then I remembered that the studio that did Seasons 2 and 3 of KI are the ones who did Darkstalkers Resurrection and the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which had Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel Superheroes. Christopher Thibault says, the original "Millions Will Die," which is now a catchphrase, is gone unless Micah reposts a copy of the Predator review online. Well, my original channel's still there. You can still go and watch those old videos. I haven't taken it down. I reposted one on Twitter today mocking the guy who thinks that blue jeans and fucking sports bras are communist. So... pronounced Tebow. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. So I didn't plan on streaming a long time tonight. Like I said, I want to get a nap in before work. So, hey, Dark Gift Comics is here. What's up, buddy? I have an announcement. Said this on my video today. And now that I've gotten a couple of sketches in, I just want to announce that this project is going forward. So originally, 3 Nights, 4 Days was not the only horror comic I had planned. Originally, what I wanted to do was another horror book that was also a prequel to both Project Lazarus and Inglewood, to explain how other supernatural beings come into the world. That book is called The First Servant. I'm here to announce I have an artist. And I have an artist that looks like he wants to go forward with it. I did have somebody before, but I don't think that he's interested in it anymore. Because he's not posting his own art anymore. He spends all of his time arguing on Twitter. And that's not a good way to be a comic book pro. You know? That doesn't tell me you want it. So I found somebody who does. And the guy who wants it is Bogdan Digital Art. And the story of The First Servant is after the war between the Turks and the forces of Vlad the Impaler. After the war, one of Vlad's most loyal soldiers, named Grigory Lupu, God, I can't talk tonight. Grigory Lupu has settled into a peaceful life in Wallachia until the point that he's turned into a vampire. And when controlled by his master, murders his entire family. His master, obviously, is Vlad the Impaler himself. The story is a quest for revenge, as Grigory goes to try and avenge his dead family, killed at the direction of his master, Vlad the Impaler, who turned him for a purpose that he hasn't even fully explained. Through it, Grigory will lose his sanity. He will have it constantly tested, and his resolve will be tested as well, as he has to make the decision on whether or not he wants to feed on the living to gain the power to possibly fight his own master. And the hordes of things in the night. It will be probably around a 70-ish page graphic novel that I am going to write instead of as individual issues like I would most of my comics. I will be writing it as one flow. One into the next, into the next, into the next. There is no part 1, 2, 3, or 4. So whenever it goes on Indiegogo, it's being funded as one big book. So it'll be pretty substantial. And what I have for you guys is some sketches. This is Grigory. After the war, this armor that was specially made for him, this leather armor, which is atypical for his for the army. And his twin swords. On the battlefield, he was known for his speed, but he wears this cloak to hide his fangs and his new skin tone. So this is our hero. And then Vlad Tepes Dragulia himself. So we're going with a more historical looking Vlad. Yeah. I looked at this for 1 second. I'm like, yep, that's him. That's him. That is the Vlad that I want to convey. It's all right here. His face tells you everything you need to know about him. And some of you asked me, how would you write a morally gray story? Right here. Right fucking here, man. So, I don't have a release date for this. We're obviously early in production. I haven't even finished the script yet. But just the fact that I have an artist attached to it, I wanted to announce it. And we even... I hired him here on stream, if you guys noticed. You know, for the last... I think it was like the last live stream I hired him, like while we were broadcasting. So, hat makes it too hot. I don't know how Hatman does it. So. But if you like Castlevania, if you like Bram Stoker's Dracula, but also if you like Lovecraft, you will really enjoy this comic. It is going to be a gothic mindfuck. And I think a lot of people are really going to like Grigori as a character. I think a lot of people are really going to love him. So. Oh, Mamma Mia. I love what I do. I really fucking love I do. Holy Ninja says, leather armor and all medieval history buffs grows. I know, it's a style over substance thing, dude. Like, it's supposed to show you how special he is to Dracula. How valued he is by Dracula. That he would have this soldier, this guy who's not a commander, by the way, just a soldier, his most loyal soldier, have him built a special armor. And he said, how would you want it built? And that's what Grigori said. And he had it made to the letter. Cost was not a thing. Why would he do that for a foot soldier? I've always got plans, man. Always got plans. You gotta trust my writing skills. Because I am the best. Of that I have no doubt at this point. So. You guys are gonna like, when you see Vlad's plate armor, you're gonna like it a lot too. So. Oh, goodness. Bleh. That's what I have to say. Bleh. Well, any questions from anyone? Ray Caster wants to know, since we're on the topic of Dracula and Castlevania, what's your take on the Warren Ellis controversy? I think that being a womanizer isn't a crime, and you can't fucking what's the term I'm looking for? Fucking, you can't groom a grown woman. What is the artist's name again, and does he have a social media? Bogdan Digital Art is his social media, and I will pull that up for us right now. Give me just a moment. Blurbity 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 blurb. So if you want to follow him on the Twitters, Bogdan Digital Art, right here. He also has his own book that he's going to be doing called Sons of Shadow. And he's also available for commissions. He does quite a bit of. It's basically his main way of making money right now. So if you want a commission done from him, get it done. Get in touch with him. He'll get it done quick for you, too. When can we expect production on the first Servant? It's already started. Like I said, I've already started scripting it. I've scripted about 7 pages, and then he's already started the character sketches. I consider it to be in production. So, I have a lot of stuff in production right now. So, the Son of the Dragon says, had to step out for a minute. What Vlad the Impaler comic are you talking about? The one I'm writing. People just want to wait and see more development on it. Fair enough. Alright, well, I'm going to go take a nap then. And then we will continue the development on it. I think that sounds like a plan. So, appreciate all you guys. Want to thank Chaos Sonic for his generosity tonight. We got around about 38, 40 people at the top, which we're getting back to the numbers I used to get on Late Night Micah for my old channel. So I have no doubt we're gonna get back to where we used to be. No doubt whatsoever. So yeah, good stuff. So with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis, your favorite Vanilla Gorilla. I'll see you next time.